So hello everybody, and welcome back to In the Demon's Grasp for session 23. Woo! We do not have an Althemia with us today, but we're still going to carry on and carry strong, and hopefully not be eaten by mimics, I think.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yes, don't
Hope
don't
not.
don't let us be eaten, please.
So when last we left off, the group had met Ilwarge.
Yep.
George.
George the
Yeah,
half mimic, half human.
yeah, poor
Maybe
guy.
maybe a little more than half mimic at this point.
3/4.
and gotten quite a little bit of treasure that they took care of off stream, off session, in between game time. They've divvied out everything. Does anybody have anything of note that you want to share that you think is important that everybody knows that change ups were made?
No.
Nope. Okay. So you had
Nope.
met George. You talked with him. You got stuff. Midnight committed an manslaughter, mimic slaughter is mimic slaughter. Uh,
Still manslaughter too, though.
Yeah, Midnight did a murder. She tried to keep a pet and she didn't remember the pet needed to breathe.
No.
yeah, poor mimic. Then we were moving on. You all should be able to reach Novell, within a day, but you'll definitely have to rest between now and then at some point because it's afternoon at this within 24 hours. I shouldn't say within the day.
And
Does that make
we've
sense?
been warned by
Mhm.
George that possibly sticking around for more than 3 days is a bad idea.
Yeah. Don't
Yep.
be next to something for several days is what he said.
Yep.
For him to get to the point he was at is about 3 days.
Um, Real quick, Nihon, your battle
Yes.
axe. Do you
Yep.
know how to mark it as silvered?
I will. No.
If you click on it, and then hit
Oh,
customize, there's a
yes, there it
checkbox
is.
for
Okay.
silvered.
Yep, there's
I
a
I
checkbox
just
for
noticed
silver.
it.
Thank you.
Hmm.
I just put it in there so I remembered it, but I appreciate that as well.
Yep.
You can now be super effective against werewolves.
Yay.
Oh.
Yay. What about mimic werewolves? Anyways,
No.
If a werewolf fights a mimic, what happens?
Becomes a were mimic.
Don't ask.
the mimic bites back. Uh,
True.
It becomes a ditto.
so the day is going on. Travel as it goes in this little weird area of seeing signs that are progressively turning into posts and progressively turning into trees and large boulders and things that obviously look very out of place for where they are. It's pretty easy to generally tell where you think a mimic may be. Uh, if you don't notice it though, then
Whoops.
probably well hidden. But generally, pretty easy to pick out with how out of place everything obviously is.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly, though, what you do see are the posts and the rocks. You don't really see a lot of much else. There's no random treasure chest laying out. That's kind of a dungeon thing.
Okay.
Not really the way of the plains here.
Yeah, so it's more natural structures and mimicking
Yeah.
natural structures.
So you all are traveling along the path, along the big road. It's about mid-afternoon at this point. There's still some sun. Y'all still continue to travel. However, the road that you're on, uh, suddenly kind of runs into the edge of the water from the inland sea. that seems to have eaten away at the ground up to this point. And it seems like it's a very recent erosion, as in you can still see rocks that aren't worn down from the waves
So
lashing
would
at it
this
and everything.
would this be more of an erosion or more of just the sea level rising?
I'd say from the looks of it, probably more of an erosion of
Okay.
like a small landslide, a
Okay.
mudslide, that type deal.
Are we that close to the water's edge?
It does come considerably inland here where you are, but this is definitely something that's happened rather recent. It may have been caused by a storm of some type or the water's lapping, but the ground has definitely given way here. It's easy to walk around. It's just something that you've noticed as you've come up to it.
Parts of the
'cause-
banks have just kind of crumbled
yeah,
into the water.
Mm.
so you have to step off the road for, a moment, but then it's just on the other side of this little area. You can get back on it okay. Beyond that, nothing seems to happen. You still hear the occasional birds and insects and everything else. Night starts to fall.
Are we noticing any high mounds around us?
Yes, there are plenty. They're all over the place.
Lots of elevated places to camp for the night.
You get to a spot on the path of travel, the road here, that seems to go behind you and to the left, based on the maps that Colfax has recently come into happenstance of. Shows that it's probably the travel route or trade route that leads up to the northeast. But night is definitely starting to fall now. The sun is going down. The storm clouds over the inland sea are still spinning, and occasionally you hear the lapping of the water along the ground nearby. You are close to it, but you're not right up against it. But there are plenty of mounds, places where you can bed down for the night.
I say we find a mound and pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
Okay. I mean, I agree with getting to higher ground for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You just want to find any random one, or do you want to try and pick out one?
I want to try to pick out one that seems like it's farther away from any potential scenery that looks out of place.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a survival check.
Okay. Can I guide myself?
You certainly can. You know you're going to do it.
I'll give you inspiration.
Okay. So that's initial, and then the guidance, and then the
D6.
inspiration. So a D4 and then a D6.
Should I roll the d6?
There's the guidance. Firedale, would you prefer that the person who's given the inspiration rolls the D6?
If you're being inspired, then it gives you the dice to roll,
So I roll it. Okay.
because it's when you make the check.
So there we go. So that is 20.
20. Nice.
All the bonuses.
Yep.
You find a mound that, as far as you can tell, at least from the obviously out of place things, seems pretty clear-ish. So you're pretty sure you can start to set up camp there.
Okay.
Clearer than most.
As you're getting the mound and sighting it and checking around and looking, green lights suddenly shoot overhead in the sky, bending kind of southeastward. And
I think we
then you
need the
see
pumpkin.
a green haze between these bright green lights
As long as we're on the higher ground away from where the mist is coming up, we'll be okay.
And a little bit of mist does start to float up from the ground.
I throw out a pumpkin.
Okay, what you want to say?
Hut.
Yay! You throw out the pumpkin. Well, you throw out the seed,
Yeah.
and before your eyes, it takes root into the mound and grows into a rather large pumpkin hut.
Please don't turn into a mimic.
You said that last time. No, it did.
If it sits there long enough.
Yep.
But it has to be touching the mist, right? If we're up on top,
Yeah.
does the mist come up here?
Not yet.
We're gonna find out.
Not at this moment. Which, with that in mind, Naya is going to be on first watch tonight.
As a reminder, little movement.
Yep.
They don't want you. We don't want them
Very
noticing.
Still, yes. Yes, very still, just keeping an eye on the mist levels and the surroundings. Yep.
So before we do all watches and stuff, I guess go into the pumpkin because we need to figure out what this bag is.
Yeah. Do that before we go into our rest.
So, did I goodberry in the morning or no?
You did that day, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
So I don't need to goodberry again tonight. So I will take out the bag and plop it on the table and be like, so we need to figure out what this is.
Is there anything in it?
Got a lot of stuff to figure out.
I don't know. So I'll...
Got shiny daggers and...
So should I try
Well-
to open the bag?
I mean, you can.
That's up to you. What are you gonna do?
So I guess try to open the bag and reach my hand in.
Can you feel the bottom?
Okay, you reach in and you feel a very leathery touch on your fingers like like a normal sack would be. It's it's tanned leather feeling on the inside, kind of furry.
Are there like pouches on the outside?
Kind of furry?
No,
They're not.
If I reached my hand into a bag of holding, would I immediately feel the inside?
No, you have to think about what you're grabbing.
yes, you would. If you reach your hand inside of a bag of holding normally, you would not.
You can, however,
Yeah.
overturn a bag of holding and dump all the contents out generally.
Is the
Yep, you
temperature
can turn
in
it
the
inside
bag
out.
colder than it is outside of it?
No.
Darn, I was hoping it was a bag of colding.
Yeah, it just has a rough, leathery interior, and this
So-
smooth, glossy exterior.
Wait.
I'm
go
Above
ahead.
board, one of my housemates made a funny comment last week that what if it's a bag of aging?
Oh,
When you put your hand in the bag, does it get like upset at you and chastise you at all?
Did it try to take a chomp?
Nope, it does not.
So it's not a bag of scolding.
can I
then.
roll something?
Nope,
to
not a
try
bag of
and
scolding.
determine what this is?
Nice.
So can I try to turn it inside out then and see what happens?
You can.
Naya's gonna move away
So-
while you do that.
Trying to turn it inside out?
Okay, you turn it inside out and put the rough, leathery exterior on the outside and the shiny, glossy exterior on the inside, and you look into the bag and you can't see into the bag.
Okay,
Oh.
so
Was
Can
it
I put
inside
my-
out already?
can I put my hand in the bag now and see if I can potentially feel anything?
You put your hand in and your arm goes in almost comically deep, much
it was
deeper
already
than
inside out.
the bag is, and yes, you've now determined that it is a bag of holding.
An inside out bag of holding.
Well, now it's the right way.
But if I
That's
turn
funny.
it back inside out, there's not going to be anything in it because it was already inside out.
Correct.
Correct?
So it was an empty bag of holding. It had already been emptied.
Okay.
Congratulations.
So Naya's going to pull out of her backpack. She's gonna pull out the healing potion in the leather flask. And we've already done this above board outside of game and transferred this, but this is how I'm rationalizing handing this over to Kalina. Is one of the healing potions we started with that was in the leather skin,
Okay.
and drop that into the bag.
It's
Is
just the
this
potion
one
of
of the-
healing that's in leather.
Yeah, it's a healing
It's one
potion
of the
that's
ones you already
essentially
have,
in a
yeah.
leather flask instead of in a vial. It's in your inventory already. Yes.
I didn't put him.
It's just marked as special. It just counts as one of your healing potions. It's a healing potion. It's just flavor.
We added it onto the list of things. That,
Yeah.
Okay, so it's already on that list of
It's one of
4
your
that you had
3,
me
yeah.
add.
Yes.
Or
Yeah,
3.
Yeah, it's one of your 3. It's
3?
just more useful because once you finish the potion, you have a leather skin. You have a water skin, basically, that you could reuse.
Okay, I'm
And I'll
actually
drop that
gonna
into
do
your
it as a
bag.
custom.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Princess will alert you all that the mist does seem to not be coming too far up along the edges of the mound. That the mound does definitely seem to be
It is
higher
high
than-
enough. Okay,
I
good.
think
the
we're
mist can
safe
reach.
from the mist.
Okay.
It's not tickling my toes yet.
Okay,
I'm still
potion
gonna
of
join you on
healing.
the first watch out there, Princess.
All right.
Is there anything else we need to figure out what they are?
I think that was it. I don't think we had anything else that was a huge mystery.
I'm moving stuff into the bag of holding.
Yeah, I don't. Too much. That was 3. We got
Everything good?
health
Anyone have
rolls.
questions?
Nope.
I think we're good. I now know what a bag of holding looks like inside out, so that's cool.
Yep, me too.
That's new knowledge.
It's very smooth.
Yeah. Inside's very glossy. Now we know.
Yep.
Ta-da. So,
Yeah, and Naya will move stuff into your bag of holding from the ordinary stuff over the days as we go. Stuff that'll be useful for you, Kalina.
Okay.
so you set up watch, first watch there now, along with Princess. Occasionally outside, you hear the sound of pebbles moving around on occasion. Generally, though, nothing seems to really stand out as unusual, other than the random occasional mimic passing by.
Ouch. Sorry. I keep hitting my microphone with my tablet.
Ah, what was that?
Thankfully, it's not too loud.
Yeah. Oof.
They do seem to
Good.
not really pay any mind to y'all being around. Nothing's attacking the pumpkin. Occasionally, a rock or a boulder or a group of rocks that seems like they're rolling together will bump into it, but then they just carry on. And then the night passes mainly without incident. So go ahead and take a long rest.
Don't I have to prepare my spells first before the long rest?
Normally you do it as you do the long rest, but yeah, go ahead. Do whatever you need to.
Okay. Also, when we come from our long rest after Naya's trance finishes, she does change, and her hair goes back to that familiar pink shade.
Okay.
Back to spring.
Back to spring.
Okay.
So I have good news, everybody.
What?
Uh-oh.
You wake up and the pumpkin is not talking to you. The
There aren't
walls
extra
have grown mouths.
Thank goodness.
gosh.
Colfax is looking at
Everybody wake up!
Colfax is looking at the pumpkin. He's just knocking on it, being like, "Hello, hello."
The pumpkin
Hello?
is just a pumpkin. It's amazing.
It's
Naya
confusing.
starts carving off pieces of the pumpkin to store for later to roast for food.
Oh no, don't do that.
Oh God, no, please.
Oh my gosh, the pumpkin's alive.
Meteor, you missed it. You missed an opportunity for a joke. Oh my
did.
gourd.
Yeah, so Naya will just make a couple of chunks of pumpkin, carve off a couple of chunks of pumpkin. I'm assuming she has a knife of some kind in her mess kit that she can do that with.
Surely do.
how set in place is this pumpkin?
It's here forever.
Yeah, it is rooted
Until
here
it
until it
rots.
rots. Or is destroyed and then
So
rots.
I couldn't like push it down the hill or anything.
No.
Okay.
No, it has taken root. It has grown here.
If we wanted to dispose of it, we need to either cut it into pieces or light it on fire.
Okay, I think I'll
Burn
go with
it!
what I've changed for now.
Got your spells taken care of?
Yep, I think so.
The only negative.
I fed my pet.
Alrighty.
Um,
Well, actually, here's a question. Do objects that are left behind for 3 days turn into mimics themselves, or is it sentient beings that are near a thing that turn into the mimics?
That's a good question.
Because will this pumpkin hut turn into a mimic, or is it now just a safe place for travelers to rest until it rots? Because
Yeah,
it's
that
not
is-
sentient.
Well, it's
That's
not
a
in the
pretty good
mist,
question.
so-
And if the other normal rocks are not all mimics, maybe it's every mimic we've encountered is a person or a creature.
I mean, that is kind of what it sounded like that
Yeah.
Greg told us.
So I think we might be fine to leave the pumpkin behind. I don't think it'll suddenly become a mimic. I think we
The
might be
mimics
okay.
are people. Oh my God, we've been eating all the people.
The next people who rest in this is just gonna be like, what are these carvings?
Yep. Why are there pieces carved out?
Random chunks off the wall.
Naya's just carving in like the shape of hearts, so there's just hearts carved into the inside of the pumpkin everywhere. It's fine.
Yep. So easily and carefully, you can easily get, enough rations, pumpkin-wise, to effectively get whatever you need to get from it. Maybe 20 if you absolutely go for all the good stuff that you can easily get to without destroying the pumpkin itself, making a hole. I mean, there is lots of pumpkin. It's not great, but
Yeah, I'm not trying to like
structural pumpkin.
I'm not trying to damage
right,
the
it's
pumpkin,
structural
but
pumpkin.
I'm kind of pulling a few pieces off where they won't be missed. And then probably also what I'll start doing after I start carving hearts out of boredom is I'll take a look at everybody in the party and I'll like carve in a flower and I'll carve in like a really beautiful looking elf.
so
With a bunny.
you're leaving your signatures in the pumpkin.
I'm doing a
And drawing
basically we
pictures
were
of
here
everybody.
with a caricature of our party member.
Yep.
Yes, or symbols. Yes.
And
Doing
then
a we were here.
and in the back of the DM's head here, you're drawing these really nice looking images and everything that look so great.
And they're
But
gonna
then
rot. and
anyone else that walks by will just see stick figures
Yeah.
and
I mean, my performance is literally a +1, so that tracks. I think they look great.
We should probably go before we turn into mimics.
normally in instances where pumpkins are involved, people are always worried that it'll turn back into a pumpkin. Y'all are
already there.
worried about the total opposite.
Yeah.
You're worried it won't be a pumpkin.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, having my blanket have a mouth was very scarring.
So, who wants to be the first to step outside?
Naya will
Hey.
walk out.
Hey, Princess, is that yucky mist gone?
It is.
It is.
No
Okay, I think
green
we're safe.
lights. Sun is rising. Naya walks out.
Except for the werewolf right outside the door. Just kidding.
A werewolf
I'm in the
suddenly
middle.
attacks. So you step outside. Everything looks
It's a werewolf
acceptable.
mimic.
You know, you do see some rocks and things that definitely weren't where they were yesterday. Some new ones have shown up. A few leafless trees that seem to now dot the landscape where there didn't used to be any, and some places where like a stump where it once stood has moved over, you know, quite a bit and is like laying on its side instead of the roots in the ground.
It fell over.
Midnight slowly starts to put a rock in her bag.
Midnight, did we not learn anything from yesterday?
Oh, fine. What's the rock back?
Do you have a murderous
want a
streak or
pet.
something?
No, I want a pet.
So find another bird. You seem to be a bird person.
One of the few times where you could literally have a pet rock. Interesting thought.
Yep.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it could
but-
be a human.
And if it's a mimic, it'll just die in there.
And then you'll have another yucky lump of flesh.
What if I put them in my normal bag?
Make sure you have to poke holes so they can breathe. Have
Do
it
you
open
want
so
a-
they can breathe.
Do you want a rock mimic attacking us while we sleep?
Yes.
No.
Oh,
To be fair, if
no
it's a
bull.
small rock and it turns into a mimic and tries to attack us, I'm just gonna punt that thing across. I'm just gonna throw it.
Magic stone!
Yeah.
Mimic stone!
If it attacks us, I reserve the right to throw it as far as I can away from us.
Great
Stepping.
start last campaign.
Stepping out, the sun has risen. Y'all have carved up little pieces of pumpkin. What'd y'all eat this morning? Are you going to?
Are
I
we
was
gonna
gonna-
eat pumpkin?
Yeah, I was gonna roast up some of the pumpkin.
Gonna roast up some
Can-
pumpkin?
I'll just eat whatever gives me nutrition at this point.
So Naya has, in addition to carving the nice things on the inside of the pumpkin, also carved out a couple of pieces in fun shapes, and is just roasting the shapes. Kind of like when you have pancakes, and you have like the mouse ear pancakes or whatever, but it's just like it's like
Pieces of
a
pumpkin.
dire wolf head or a mimic of it in a shape of a pumpkin. Like a pumpkin slice in that shape, and it's just little things like that. She just passes those out.
Okay, having roasted, they're edible. I mean, it's not the best. It is a little
Leathery.
what's the
Woody?
word? Yeah,
Woody?
little leathery since
Well,
it has been cooked,
fibrous,
but it is
just a
pumpkin.
bit.
Fibrous. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
But
pumpkins
it's
are
edible.
fibrous. They're chewy.
I mean, it tastes of pumpkin.
Yeah.
It's just a little tougher than most pumpkins tend to be.
Yeah, it's fine.
So
One of
everybody's-
these days we should do the other pumpkin. Oh my god, it would be good. Please no.
And a lightning strike from the heavens just nonchalantly strikes right next to Kalina.
Naya's just waiting until she gets the rest of the ingredients to make pumpkin soup, which will be better than the roast pumpkin.
So you're back out. The sun has risen. You have eaten. What shall y'all do?
I think we want to try to head towards Novale.
Just head to
Okay.
Noel.
So back on the path and on the road again, you start heading southward.
Yep.
You can see in the distance a town that seems to be somewhat sprawlingly wide. You see large trunks of trees that have been impacted into the ground
They
and
had
made
George had
into
mentioned that they elevated Novale. lifted it.
makeshift walls. Several, I want to say, ups. How do you an inverted mound, a hole in the ground, but not an actual hole, where there's
Oh, a
massive
valley?
swats, kind of, or massive
Or a
amounts.
basin?
Oh, a moat.
Yeah, kind of moat-like, but
A
where
trench?
they have. There's the word. I don't know why
Okay.
my brain is
We
all
got
out
there.
of it
We
today.
got there.
Yeah, where they have removed dirt from the land around, not only to make the little mounds that are dotting the landscape, but considerably moved into the city. Uh, Between some of the logs, you can see spaces which is made for people to come in and out. One of them is directly on the road that y'all are traveling, and you can probably get there in a few hours. One other thing that you note as you're traveling along is occasionally uh, along the path, off in the distance, you see a rock that looks like it's hugging a person, or a tree, a tree that seems to have wrapped around another person's arm, and the people are kind of slumped there, not really moving much.
Oh no.
I really hope this town is not a mimic.
The entire town just reaches up and bites you.
Yep.
And
Naya
And that's the end, everybody. Bye.
Naya will take a glance at one of these people that look slumped. Do they look conscious?
they don't appear to be conscious, but you can see breathing.
Naya will, I might regret this later. Will launch a healing word at one of them that looks like the what if there's one that looks less stuck than the others?
Okay,
Or do they all look kind of pinned in place?
Most of them look like they're pretty pinned. Go ahead
Pull
and
out a
give
crowbar.
me a perception check, or crowbar. Yeah, that works too.
Okay, can I guide myself on this too?
You can.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're planning to do something, you can guide yourself.
15.
You pick out in this group of people that seems to be alarmingly, growing as you're getting closer to town, going along. You do see one that looks like it's being hugged by a very weirdly shaped rock, but the person, their shoulder is rather loose in the grip, and everything else. So they, out of everybody you've seen, they look like they're probably the least held.
Okay, so I will cast a healing word on that person.
Okay, so you cast healing word on that person from range. Their
That's-
breathing seems to soften as if whatever they're doing while they're asleep has eased. They do not wake up.
Can I
Okay.
try to use my crowbar to pry them out?
You can certainly attempt it.
Okay.
Okay, give me a strength check, please.
I'm going to fail miserably.
Oh,
Might
here's
fail
a follow.
miserably.
I'm spring again.
You,
Mhm.
I can
You're
teleport the stuck people out.
Oh.
okay, here's what
If the
happens.
rock doesn't come with it.
Okay, you get your crowbar down there in the space along this rock that's hugging this person, and you put your foot on the rock to give you extra leverage, and push with all your might, and the rock gives just a little bit, and then you go to pull away now that there's more room, and it appears that
Are you stuck?
your crowbar has adhered to this rock,
Oh dear.
as has your shoe.
Okay, I
you're
guess I'm
using that,
teleporting you,
Travel
Luce.
Mimic.
Guess
Don't we
I'm
have to be
teleporting you out.
active for
Guys, I've made a mistake. I'm kind of stuck.
Okay. Do you think I can teleport you out? Should I touch you or not?
I think you're safe to touch me.
Okay.
Is there something else Oh, I have oil. You think that'll help?
Maybe?
I think we're going shoe shopping when we get to Novale.
I mean, yeah, you could just pull your shoe off.
I mean, they're nice shoes though.
Yeah, but you can try to take the shoe off when you got your foot out of the shoe.
I guess.
You can try and wrench the shoe free if you so desire, or
I'll take my foot out of the shoe and let go of the crowbar.
uh-huh. So removing either one, I'll need a DC 13 strength or dexterity check.
Can I help
Or
him?
acrobatics. You certainly can.
I'll grab the edge of his, or her clothing and kind of pull.
Why don't we both roll separately, because I have a -1 to strength.
I'm also gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put an emboldening bond between the two of us.
Oh, I guess we don't need it.
Okay.
I'm rolling really well.
I mean, we'll have the bond for 10 minutes, so it's fine.
Yeah.
So I'll put the bond between you, me, and Colfax.
You wrench your shoe free. There's still person and a crowbar attached.
Oh,
All right,
That
I rolled a
now
19.
wrenches the crowbar free. So you now have an unworn shoe and a crowbar.
Okay.
You know what this means?
Please don't
They're-
tell
they're
me you're
sticky.
gonna. Please
Does it
don't
mean
tell me
they're
you're gonna
sticky?
try and take a pet sticky rock.
No, I'll just blast it.
Don't
What
hurt
about
the person.
Not the person, just the rock.
Can I
The
try
rock's a
something
person
first?
too.
Can I try something first?
I guess.
Naya's gonna reach out
You'll never
and
know.
she's gonna try to tap the person on the shoulder, like poke them with a stick or something to wake them up.
Okay, you poke them with a stick. They awaken groggily.
Why didn't they
kind
wake
of look
up when I was
around.
yanking on them?
You weren't
they
yanking
look
on them, you were yanking on the rock.
they look around for a moment as they get their bearings, and then suddenly yell very loud and, "Oh no, what's going on? What's this? Why am I on a rock? Why is it holding me? I can't get loose. Can you help
Hi.
me?
Can you give me permission to move you?
Yes, get me out of here."
Okay, I will reach out and I will
What
face
is your
step and I will
name?
move them out of the grip of the rock.
Okay, you activate your
Face step.
ability and face step, and they suddenly poof and appear wherever you so desire.
Which is just out of the grip of the rock
Yep.
next to it. But
What?
enough away they're not gonna fall into it if they stumble.
Is the rock still attached to them?
No,
Okay.
no,
What
they have been
is your
teleported away
name?
from the rock.
And I was specifically only touching the person, not the rock.
They
and I'm gonna
seem
back
to
away
be
from the rock.
panicking at the moment and kind of hugging themselves and looking around and making certain statements like they're everywhere, and I can't believe one got me, and I need to tell my wife. I hope she's okay, and various things like this, and kind of turns around and starts walking towards the town rather
Can
quickly.
you tell me your name?
Wait, who are you?
Wade, I need to go check on my wife.
No, you
Okay.
Wade!
He continues walking.
He's just saying, Colfax just saying wait over and over again because it sounds funny.
And he doesn't even care who we are at
And
all.
he's
He's just like, nope.
He's like increasingly as Wade is walking away, he's like saying it faster and faster, like it's a tongue twister.
Does
Way to
anyone
say thank you!
Of the stuck people look more important than another?
Yeah, I can do 2 more of those. And then
Not
I gotta
Can I-
overly. Most of them appear to be wearing rather common clothing, possibly farmers or.
Are there any that are
people,
particularly like young, like children?
Most of them that you see actually tend to be rather on the middle to late age. Not
Okay.
very many like young adults here or children as far as you can see.
Can I attack the rock?
Now that the
doesn't
person's
have
moved,
anyone stuck
yes.
to it? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Firebutt, none
Open
look like
flat.
Nana, right?
No, you don't see any that look like your grandmother.
And
Okay, 'cause
Erzahan didn't
we're-
say anything about being stuck in a rock, so I'm sure he's not one of these people.
Does a 17 hit?
It does. Roll damage.
I'm sure even with Ali gone, Firedale would not let Erzahan be people pass without being noticed by Ali in her absence.
Does a 14 hit as well?
We don't notice Urzahan, correct?
Does Phelan notice Erzahan?
No.
Well, we
Okay.
would notice him too because I'm sure we know
Yeah.
what he looks
Yes,
like.
y'all know him. No, you don't notice him. Yes, it hits.
Okay.
20 damage.
Okay, you knock off chunks of flesh from the rock. It's still a rock that's in a weirdly shaped hugging pose.
It's
as
in a
if it
rock, but the
was-
things that he pushed off are flesh.
Yeah, I mean, the rock has a gooey center.
Oh no.
It's a mimic. Mimics are goo.
But flesh?
Mimic flesh.
Yeah,
Okay.
Once human flesh.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
mimic flesh at the moment.
I'm a little concerned.
I
Um,
hope the person that was or the rock that was hugging him wasn't his wife.
That's kind of what I'm worried about. That's why I was asking if there were kids, because if there were kids, I'm like, oh no, it's parents embracing kids. But there were no kids, so.
Yep, no children.
Whew.
And it isn't attacking back at all?
No, it has not made a move.
This is so weird. Let's go into the town.
You said there were a lot of these?
I start walking away.
As you're getting closer to the town, there's an alarming amount. You know, like 10 here or there that you've kind of passed by along
Does
the
anyone
way.
look like they're really, really, really badly off? Like,
Everyone
struggling
kind
to
of looks to be
breathe or-
sleeping somewhat peacefully. A few look like they're kind of malnourished in the grit, but not anything life-threatening.
okay. Yeah, I'd imagine Naya's looking for, is anyone in imminent danger of dying if I don't release them right now? And if
Yeah.
not, she's gonna keep moving.
Nope,
Midnight's just walking past them unfazed.
like a boss, as they say. But no,
This
you're
is a
walking
little
by.
creepy.
Yeah, it is definitely quite a bit creeper. So y'all are getting closer to the town. It's within a mimic stone throw away. I need a wisdom save from everybody, please.
Okay. Is this
Alright.
advantage for me or normal?
Is
Oh,
enchantment?
you've gotta be kidding me!
It's to avoid or end a charmed condition.
Okay, it is not charm, but it is enchantment.
And then it's magical sleep and disease that I have
Then
So-
no.
ability to avoid.
That balances out my strength checks from earlier.
Well,
Yep.
2 nat
Well-
1s.
Well, remember, Midnight and Colfax, you both have Emboldening Bond with me right now, assuming it's not been a
yeah.
full 10 minutes. And that means that you are gonna get to add.
Oh, add.
Let me find the amount because you get bonus dice.
Okay.
You get to add a D4.
Okay.
So 8.
6.
11.
So you and I are on the same
Nat
level.
1 still.
Well, I have a 16 now.
Okay, so lots of numbers. So what did everybody get?
6.
2 nat 1s for a total of 6.
Colfax got an 11.
Mm-hmm.
Naya got a 16. Kalina got a 6.
Does
And
Princess need to roll?
yes.
Somebody needs to roll for Allie.
FAE. Wait, why am I even going there? I can do it in roll 20. I
mean,
forgot that I added
got it.
everybody's stuff.
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah, it's not that hard to get to now.
Okay. So as y'all are getting closer to this town, just suddenly out of the blue, Kalina and Midnight, you get a chill down your spine and you just feel really uncomfortable and almost afraid of this town as you're getting closer. You feel like it's a super bad idea to get anywhere near it, and
Guys.
it's just giving you the heebie-jeebies.
Guys, something's wrong.
I don't
We
feel
gotta go.
good.
We gotta go right now. We gotta go.
Naya's gonna reach
Okay,
out.
let's go. Let's go. Let's just turn around and go. No.
All right, so who is creeped out? Just Midnight and Kalina?
Midnight
or...
and
Yeah.
Kalina.
I don't like
I
this.
I turn around and start walking the other way.
I'm going to reach out and clamp my hand on Midnight's shoulder, and I'm going to cast Heroism.
What do you do?
What's that do?
You are immune to fear, and you get 4
Yeah.
temporary hit points.
And Midnight, you feel suddenly a lot better, and you don't really understand why the city seems so scary there for a moment.
Oh, it's just a city. All right, let's go.
Yeah,
And
so
I'll say that
Kalina,
Come on,
I'll say
Kalina.
that I did
God
it.
damn,
Can I
Kalina's
say I
cool.
did it at 2nd level to hit both of them?
okay,
Okay,
and go ahead and mark it off, and I'll let you do it.
I marked it. I just noticed that was how I add creatures if I go up a level.
I start skipping towards the town, all happily.
Yeah, so Kalina, Naya, kind of touches Midnight's shoulder and says it's okay, and looks at you two, and you feel much more at ease now than you did a moment ago as well. You are no longer afraid of this town.
Thanks, Naya. You the best.
I don't know what was that?
I don't
So-
know, but I feel great now.
You can each give yourself 4 temporary hit points.
I have done so.
Okay.
I haven't yet.
Okay. I was trying to figure out how I was going to deal with Kalina, but that works.
There.
Thank you for letting me do that.
I was just half expecting you to drag my ass there.
I mean, I was tempted to
I
just
was
teleport
about
you
to.
into town, but that's a last resort. I'll just burn the 2nd level spell. It's fine. I can get it back later.
I was about to start dragging her, literally.
That's why I clamped out and grabbed your shoulder. I'm like, nah, you're stopping.
So y'all get closer to the town. It's within view. and you find yourselves at a somewhat makeshift gate, and a person calls down from above these tall log-like walls and says, "Hoy, who goes there?" And you look up, and it seems to be a human of
It's
some type.
midnight.
He has a rather familiar-looking. What's the word?
Visage.
No.
Beard.
I'm gonna
Nose.
wave and be like, "Hey, did Wade make it back and let him loose?" And then he ran.
Gates.
Wade made it in okay. Are y'all the ones that let him free?
Yes.
Yeah.
Whose name might you be?
I
Midnight.
go by Naya. And
I'm
then
Kalina.
I'll be like, "That's
Colfax
Phelan."
the Mighty.
Glaive. He's holding a rather large, familiar-looking glaive.
Yep, yep.
Is
Like
it?
guard.
Does it look like the one that I have?
The ones that we
Yeah.
just got.
I got
Yes.
one of those.
No. Colfax, second of his, first of his name. Adventurer of the wilds. Conqueror of forests unknown.
All
Can we
the
come
names.
in?
Of
before
course.
the-
Just a minute. Any
Before the
mimics
Green
on
Mist-
you?
Not that we know of.
Midnight, there's none in your bags,
depends
are
on the
there?
Definition.
You
He
didn't
looks-
stick another in your bag, Midnight, did you?
No, it's just my bag.
Okay.
He looks rather concerned at the statement of "it depends," and
My
says,
bag likes to bite, but I'm pretty sure it's not a mimic.
"How long have y'all been out?"
A day.
How long have we been out? 2 days?
In
Two.
traveling for here, it's
We slept
going on
twice.
2. Yeah.
2
Dude.
days almost.
Okay, hurry in, hurry in. And he calls back, and this rather large makeshift gate that's been there, like one door of it opens slightly inward, and another person comes and waves their hand to call you in.
You wanna see
I'm
my
gonna
bag?
run.
Yeah, I'm gonna run in there.
Yeah, we'll go in.
Naya will shove them in because the heroism spell doesn't last very long, and it will probably end the second they get into town.
I'm gonna go up to the guy who is concerned about my bag.
Yeah, as Midnight, as you come through the door, the one that's waving people in stops you and says, "Can I see your bag, please?"
Oh yeah, yeah. It's really cool. I bought it at a shop. See, when I stick my hand in it like this, it does nothing. But if you want to, you can. I will warn you, it will nibble a little bit. It might hurt just a tiny bit, but it's okay.
It's like a security system.
They seem rather concerned with the nibbly bit, and they say, "But it doesn't look like a mimic." So you're free to go.
Naya, you stick your hand in.
I suggest not.
We already know what it does.
I've been using it as a mimic detector.
A
It's
mimic
pretty cool.
detector.
Yeah.
Do not get us kicked
Yeah.
out.
Anything that you put in it that's living, it will nibble on. Unless it's me, it won't nibble on me. But
Are
so-
you undead?
No, it's just because
It's
my
attuned to
bag.
him. He's
I see. And he nods as if he understands,
He-
but you
he-
can see in the dead look
it
in
knows
his
his
eyes
taste, and he's
that
not
he
tasty.
has no clue.
He
Her.
Col-
Yeah, it knows
Col-
her taste, and she's not tasty.
Colfax kind of
Trusts me, but no one else.
Colfax kind of scooches up and is like, "If I said he was dead, would he get in trouble?"
Yes,
Hmm.
but only if he is.
She has a
Well,
weird fascination
bad,
with
right?
dead, though.
Oh, I love dead things. They're super cute.
She's a little bit creepy sometimes.
All of this being said by the bird.
Naya's
Uh-huh.
just
I got
walking
nice
away while they're
stuff.
having this conversation. She's moving, and I'm sure Phelan's also moving.
Yeah, and
I'll notice
and
Naya walking away and I'll run after her.
he doesn't seem phased by the bird one bit.
Hey, guys, we're having a nice. Okay, I gotta go. I'll talk to you later. I'll talk to you. We'll continue.
We gotta go find Urzahan!
He waves
Bye.
weakly, and you call that out and yell, and he says, Urzahan's at the inn.
Thank you!
Oh,
Where's the inn?
Where's
well, that's
Wade?
cool.
Wade went in to look for his wife. I've got no clue where he went.
Is his wife here? Do you know?
Yeah, she's been looking for him for a while. We
Okay,
didn't even
Okay.
know he left the town.
Oh,
So she wasn't the rock. Okay, I can breathe now.
She thought he had just gone out and gotten drunk. Would be back in a day or two.
yeah, there are quite a few people out there that seem to be in various states of being
Lots
pinned
of
down
them
by
are-
rocks. And trees?
Rocks and trees.
His eyes kind of look down, saddened, and he says, "Yeah, I know. There's not a lot we can do for them once they're grabbed.
I
They're
can
very hard to
help
get
a
out."
little bit, but I can only help a few times a day. I need a rest before I can help any more people.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. How do you think I got Wade out?
You'll definitely have to go speak to Elsbeth. She'll be interested in anybody who can help with things like that.
Elizabeth. Got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
And
I'm sorry.
she lives in
where?
the house that's kind of still standing over that way, and he points up the hill. Again, this is a rather large city. This is one of the two cities that are pretty much together. They make a single city of the mainland here, the controlling cities.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
You haven't heard from Daphne. She's a heron gun like me, have you?
I'm afraid not.
Also, hey Luke, I didn't see you pop in here.
Okay.
How you doing?
Just thought I'd ask.
Nope, it's not a name that I recognize. I'm sorry.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
Naya has more questions about the mist, but I think Elspeth would be a better person to ask about
Elsbeth,
that.
Elsbeth.
So Elspeth, okay.
I can always ask Urzahan about Nana.
But
I'm
he
sure
points down the
Urzahan knows
street
Nana.
and says, "Go down that way, and you'll see lots of people in the main square. And her house is further that way. It's near the center of town. She's our mayor. She's the one who controls the town. She's currently run ragged with trying to send out help from everything. Uh, ever, ever since the island went to hell here, it's just been one thing after another.
We've heard.
And I'm sure you've seen. But yeah, definitely go see Elsbeth when you get the chance.
Will do.
And
I mean, we came from Cashew. It's pretty much hell over there, too.
You came from Kashi.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I thought Alfred was the only one over that way.
Alfred's still doing good too, by the way. We saw him before we left.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
Yeah. But yeah, we came from Cashy. It's
Yeah,
pretty
we went
bad
through
over
the
there,
forest out of Kashi to get here.
too.
Yeah,
was- that was fun.
we've not had travelers from Kashi in ages. Usually the only people that we get to come in and out this way are ones coming from Sutton.
It was a long journey.
A very long journey, and the crystals near Kashi are not nice, and they respond to magic. So yeah.
And there was
Avoid that.
talking
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. Well,
Yeah.
Y'all definitely seem like you've traveled quite a bit. Definitely stop by the inn.
Will do.
He
Bye.
he waves and closes the door.
Fairdale.
Thank
Yes.
you.
One of the items that we've had in our bag for a little while from that merchant caravan
Uh-huh.
was a receipt for an unclaimed fine wine from a tavern Can I check the name of that tavern, please, just to know it?
You most certainly can.
Okay. I'm just want to have that in mind to check if, like, as we encounter towns and like inns and taverns, I want to see if we get a match, basically.
Okay, just a moment. That's a great question.
I don't want to put you on the spot with coming up with a name right this moment, but just know that I'll be looking for a match.
No, you're fine. I just have to check my notes.
He had that planned.
Good.
So obviously, since Allie's not here, we don't want to go straight to the inn and find Urzahan.
Yes.
We don't want to go
Yes.
to Urzahan yet.
It's
It's
the.
the-
So
Go ahead.
should
Go
we
ahead.
go to Town Square and do a little bit of shopping?
Well, let Firedale tell me the tavern name first.
Okay.
It's the Broken Compass.
Okay. Let me update my notes on that item here.
So I guess you never find North.
Maybe you always find north, but it's not in the way you expect. Maybe it's a very
Maybe-
windy path to north.
Maybe
Yeah,
it's
it-
magnetic North and you just spin around in circles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you drink enough mead, that's what you'll do. Yes,
Okay.
the Broken
Broken
Compass Tavern.
Compass Tavern. Okay. Thank you.
Yep, no
Maybe
problem.
we go do a little bit of shopping. I want to find that book.
Yeah, we can peek into town, do some shopping really quick, and then go
See if we can
Elsbeth.
find. Yeah,
we want to see the
Elsbeth,
inn tonight, so we can wait until then.
Guildhall.
So, I am absolutely certain that Phelan
Phelan will
won't
veer
have
off
any
and
of
go
it
immediately
and
to
will
the inn on her.
definitely go.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll break off.
She will probably disappear before anyone even notices
Yep, yep.
and be gone.
And
Yeah.
we'll be just like, oh, yep, she probably just went to go see Urzahan.
Yep, yep.
Immediately hearing that's where he is. So,
does
yep.
anyone see Phelan?
She probably went to go find her dad.
Oh yeah.
Not worried.
Let's give her some time for that reunion. It's been a while since they've seen each other. We'll find them
Alright.
later.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay, so this is a rather large, sprawling city. You can tell, however, that a lot of the buildings seem to be relatively recently constructed, as opposed to having been set around for a while. You don't really see any older buildings at all. All of these look like they've been built like within the past 5 years or so. A lot of them are made of cobblestone stacked, lumber, things like that. You can definitely tell that they're barely aged, other than like storms and wind, but not heavily so.
Okay.
So just about everything you see around the area seems to be rather recent-ish construction.
Well, they
years
raised
old
the
instead
city.
of decades old.
They raised the city, so that kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah, they probably had to rebuild higher.
Yep.
Makes perfect
And-
sense.
And the ground that you walk on does seem to be a mixture of sand, stone, little bits of gravel, dirt. Occasionally there's places where little sprigs of, a tree seed that decided to land at some place grows, moss, stuff like that. Definitely seems like it's a makeshift ground. It's definitely not natural.
Mm-hmm.
So, do we head to town center first, or do we go see Elsbeth first?
I think town center first.
Town center.
Because I'd imagine that it's on the way to Elsbeth.
It is. So,
So following
I
the
just-
main, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I just want to find a book and quill.
We'll
Yep,
see what's
so-
available.
Junk.
So following the main road here into town from this gate, you can definitely see, like I said, the buildings. Most of them are smaller, not super big or elaborate. There's definitely not as many buildings here as you would expect from the size of the town, as far as how large the walls were. This is supposed to be like a huge, sprawling town, but it doesn't appear to be at this point. There's
Okay.
definitely less people living here than the size would suggest. The smaller buildings, stuff like that, it's not as densely packed as you would probably expect a town this size to be from the outside.
All right, so I am keeping an eye out for Wade. Just as we travel through, as we look around.
Okay. So
I
you're
know
traveling.
Nene is looking for a book and quill, so some sort of vendor.
As you're traveling down the main road here, you do see a large-ish building that's kind of forward and onto the right. It's right on this main road, and hanging over the door is what appears to be a circle with a line going through it, and one end of the line is painted red, and I'm sure y'all just walk on by. Seems to be a very tavern, and the sign looks much like a compass.
The broken
Right.
compass.
Naya might peek in, but won't actually go in. She's just gonna peek in to see if she spots Phelan. And then
You
we'll
would
move
peek
on.
in and would most likely see Phelan and a rather aged dragonborn that seemed
Yeah.
to be having an interesting reunion.
What? Hey,
If she catches Phelan eye, she'll give her a thumbs up and mouth later. And then keep moving, but otherwise she'll just move on and note that that's where
Midnight-
she is.
I'll
Midnight
pull
starts walking
Midnight.
like she's gonna go in.
I will pull Midnight away.
But no, they're in there.
Let them have their reunion.
Fine.
Like when we find Kalina's Nana, we're gonna need to give Kalina and Nana some time alone. They gotta catch up. We would be in the way right now.
Fine.
We'll talk to him tonight. We
Yeah,
have
we
to
can catch
find
up
somewhere
with
to
him
stay
tonight.
anyway. Yeah, we'll have to stay at the inn anyway.
Give them space.
So you're going down, and immediately in the next building, it's a slightly smaller building, but on the front of this building is a sign that literally says "The Book and Quill."
Okay, I'm like turning and heading in.
No, we gotta let them have their
Let-
own time.
Yep, we
Book and
gotta let
quill.
Kalina have her reunion with her book and quill. You're exactly right. You're catching on quick.
Nobody coming in with me? I just want to pick up a book quickly.
It was a joke. I'm coming.
Okay. I don't need no emotional reunion with a book and quill. I'm good, thank you. Now with Nana, that might be a different story.
Naya's just
Kalina.
kind of snickering. Yeah.
You step inside, it appears to be a shop of some kind. You see various bits of various books that are strewn along the floor.
Just-
They're kind of stacked haphazardly here and there. Along one wall, you do see several rolled up parchments and quills and things like that. Nothing seems to be organized whatsoever. It's all kind of just there to see. And there's one person who's inside kind of picking up a book and open it up, looking at the front page, closing it, and then they'll put the book down and then pick up the next book and look at it.
Is that
It's
the
hard to
only
tell.
person we see?
There's also a person who's behind a counter right near the front door. And you
I'll
walk
go
in,
up
they
to
say,
the counter.
I'll
Hello,
go
how
up to the
can I help
counter
you?
too.
Do you have spell scroll?
no, I'm afraid we don't. We only have regular books here.
Naya's fishing out a piece of paper or parchment,
Hmm
and she's gonna use her quill that she just got that writes in an unwanted language.
Uh-huh.
And she's gonna write the words, "I want to learn this language. Find me a book in this language."
Okay. Well, tell me this.
Uh-huh.
What language are you trying to write in?
Well, it's an unwanted language, so I'm trying to write it in common.
Okay,
And
so
seeing
you're
what comes
trying to
out.
write in common. Okay, and so you write that down, and the person says, "Sure, we have books on Elven right over there."
Well, that's a language I know, so I would be able to read that, and I wouldn't pass that over if I could read it.
Yeah, you could read it.
I'd be like,
It-
oh,
it's
not
Elven.
helpful. Not helpful. Okay.
I'm
It's
looking
almost
for.
like it was an unwanted language.
What
Yeah,
if you write in
fine.
Elven now? Does that write in common?
I'll try to write a word in Elven. I'll write the word friend in Elven.
While she's doing that, I'll look at the person behind the counter and be like, "I'm just looking for a normal plain blank book for a diary, and I would like a quill, please."
Okay, we have plenty of those, and they motion to it. You can pick up a normal, plain book for 1 gold and a quill for 1 silver. So
Okay.
you write the word friend, trying to write it in Elven, and you're pretty sure what comes out is abyssal.
Oh, hey, that's Abyssal. I
Oh,
recognize that.
I don't know this language. That would be
I
helpful.
do. I speak Abyssal.
Nice.
Okay.
Did anybody catch the reference, by the way?
I did
Message in
not.
Elvish, speak friend and enter.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, no, I get that.
Why
was
am I
expecting
not
it to be
finding
common
a
and just say
quill?
friend, but yes.
Nerd.
Why
It's
can't
probably just not an item in D&D Beyond. Because it's such a simple thing.
you said
Yeah,
1
it's-
gold, 1 silver, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's just a
1 gold
basic
for the
item,
book
so it's
and a
not going to
silver for the
exist.
quill.
Okay,
Can-
so
can
I'm
I
going
write-
to name the name
It
book.
would probably be under calligrapher's kit.
Yeah, it's usually part of a kit, and it's usually like you have a book and you have a quill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not combined. I have a
Um,
calligrapher's kit.
Can I write friend?
I'm
in
just gonna
Abyssal?
name a book and quill. I'm gonna customize the name to a book and quill.
Okay.
And the person informs you that they don't have anything that can translate that language. They're not even sure what the language is.
Darn.
Oh, it's Abyssal.
I'm afraid we don't have any books to translate abyssal.
Okay. Thank you.
I mean, why do you need a book?
Yeah.
You could just ask Midnight to translate it.
No, I want to try it.
Okay. I will let them try to write.
I'll write friend in Abyssal.
Okay, you write friend in abyssal. And what comes out appears to be several symbols and scratch marks that are completely unfamiliar to you.
Okay,
Not
that
this
one I don't
language.
know.
Yeah,
Like
what is this one?
triangles and X's, and like one of them looks like an eye that's got a cross across it, things like that.
Out of character,
Okay.
wondering if this is primordial.
Nope, not primordial.
Is it
Okay.
hieroglyphics?
Do I look at it? Can I? Because my other language is Druidic. It's not Druidic, is it?
Is it rune writing?
Oh.
None of you recognize this language.
It might be thieves can't.
Very possible.
Yep,
So
no
I
one
also-
recognizes this language.
Alright, here you go. I give it back to you.
Okay.
I also am going to grab a second book.
Okay.
Because I want to write a flower compendium.
Naya will buy a refill of ink because she's just
Secretly
used
run by rats, says
a
Nihon.
bunch of it.
Oh yeah, I guess I need to grab ink, don't I?
Yeah, you need to get ink.
You're talking about like bits of books all over the place. I'm like,
Oh,
yeah, the rats ate them, and they're selling the books now.
would it be an ink pen that I'd be buying instead of a quill then?
Well, no, quills use ink.
Who's using?
No, but when I put in ink, there's ink pen, but I don't have a quill as an inventory, and I would
Well,
ink
a
pen be
quill
the
is
same?
considered part of your calligrapher supplies.
put what I'm
If you want to
asking-
put ink pen down, you can.
Okay, thank you. How much is ink?
One
ink?
ounce bottle of ink is
Very expensive, 10 gold.
very, yeah.
Oh my gosh, you
Which
don't
we
have that
have.
much. You don't have that much. It's expensive.
I have it.
Okay, I'm grabbing one, please.
Yeah, I'm also buying one.
Yeah, the book was actually cheaper than the ink,
Of course, the book is cheaper. It's empty.
and the paper within the book is not paper. It's much more woody feeling, like what's the word?
Pulpy.
It's-
Fibrous,
Yeah,
pulpy.
It's the
It's not very
equivalent of
refined.
it's the equivalent of newsprint paper. Just
it's not very refined
just
paper.
miscellaneous brown paper.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm just looking for a book and ink and
Yep,
quill
you're
so I
good.
can
You
start
found
writing
it.
stuff. Thank you.
Shopkeep, is there somewhere that specializes in like weapons and armors and stuff?
Ah!
What? Hey, what?
You talk.
Yeah, this is our friend's,
Oh,
you know how some people have, like, seeing eye familiars? This is her speaking familiar.
Oh. Oh.
scared the crap
okay.
out of me. Oh,
You scared me.
It's a service animal. We
I was
apologize.
talking before.
It's okay.
One
You
moment.
didn't notice then?
He's kind of weird.
Oh, sorry. You good?
He said 1 minute.
Yeah, you just need a minute.
What have you done?
Sorry, my mother called.
Oh, okay.
She needs assistant, but I've got a quick minute, then I will be back.
It's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so what was said?
I said, "Are you good?"
I'm okay. I'm okay. And they hold their hand up to their heart and they catch their breath. Ah,
Yeah, Princess is a little bit frightening.
Yeah, as Princess is just hovering in the air, not flapping any wings.
uh-huh.
I'd like to imagine that Naya was like ready to do a quick spare the dying to prevent an imminent heart attack. We're just
Probably.
ready.
Anyways, I just wanted to ask if there was anywhere around that I could sell like weapons and armor to.
The best place to do that would probably be the main market in the center of town. Especially right now that it's mainly open, that would be where everybody would be congregating at the moment.
Would there also be a shop of magical goods and or scrolls?
Sometimes you can find some antiquities, and occasionally there's a wizard that may sell some wares there, but as far as if he's going to be there today, I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, thank
I
you for the
have a-
information.
I have one more question. Do you happen to have any books on the flowers and stuff in the area?
We have several books on flowers and the like, some plants and things, and you'll find them over in the herbalism pile, the horticulture.
So I'll take off to the herbalism pile. If I'm assuming
Is there
they point
anything
me.
specific? Yeah.
I just want like a book that I can look through for flowers and get ideas of things that I might want to do with them.
Very easy to
Meanings
find.
and stuff. How much do you think a book like this would cost?
10 gold.
Okay.
Anybody else
give-
want to look for any books or anything interesting?
Naya will pull out the 15 gold piece coin with the image of a pious martyr on it
Mm-hmm.
and show it to him and be like, "This, you seem very well read. Do you have any idea what this person could represent? This doesn't look like a normal coin."
They look at it for a moment and say, to me it looks like maybe a priest or a cleric of some type.
Okay,
Ooh.
interesting. Thank you.
Do I get a special name for the book or no?
You can name it whatever you like to, no special name. Horticulture 102.
Mhm.
because there's 102 different flowers in it.
How do you spell
Uh,
horticulture?
HORTI and then
Culture.
culture. Yeah, perfect. Nailed it.
Okay. I
As
thought there was a
Princess is
D in there.
As Princess is just floating in the air, the shopkeeper might see like just like a scorpion tail like come up and scratch his head and then just disappear.
The shopkeeper looks alarmed again, but manages to keep their composure.
Okay.
So if nobody else plans on doing anything, then we will go ahead, and I apologize. I need to go ahead and stop here then, because I'm
That's
not
fine.
sure how long it'll take me before I get back.
That's fine.
Yeah, we'll end here, and next time we can pick up with crashing the reunion with Erzon. It's great.
So thank you all.
Either that, or we
Or
end up
continue
going
shopping
in-
and then crash the
Yeah.
reunion with Erzon. Yeah.
or go to see Elsbeth.
Yeah,
Yep.
I
Well,
apologize
I
for
think I
having to
want
cut it
Phelan for
short.
that.
No,
Okay.
you go do your thing. It's more
Yeah.
important.
So
Yep,
thank
yep,
you all
we're good.
again for stopping by for this 23rd session of In the Demon's Grasp. We traveled. They
We finally
saved
got out of
Wade.
the nest.
Yay!
They saved Wade.
For
They
now.
found the broken compass, and
Yep.
they found the book and quill, which apparently somebody specifically wanted to find.
There's a bottle of fine wine with our name on it if we convince them to relinquish it to minors.
Hey, remember, in this day and age, you're adults.
Yeah, remember.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mortal
Like-
laws do not apply here.
Yeah, 14 or 15, you're an adult.
Okay.
I mean, look at Colfax. He's what, 4?
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's
He's
old.
clearly an adult elven man.
Yeah, he's 40, 50 years old at this point. Come on.
So thank you all for stopping by. Hope everybody had fun. Again, I apologize for having to cut it short, but I need to go. My mother is in
Alright.
need of some assistance.
Thank you for
All
the game
good.
time.
All
Bye.
good.
Everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.